Here we go. Welcome, everyone. It's Friday, and it's the Manufacturing E-Commerce Success Series. I am one of your hosts, Damon Pistolka, and with me, this good-looking guy right over here, Curt Anderson. We're going to be guiding you through a wonderful topic about effective inbound marketing for manufacturers today. So, Curt, take it over, my friend.
Damon, my brother from another mother. How about one more time, dude? One more time, little bromance going on here. The two old guys. So, hey, Happy Friday, everybody. Man, it's already June 10th. What the heck is going on here?
I know.
So, hey, big shout out to Damon Pistolka over here. Just doing an amazing job at Exit Your Way. Look at that handsome devil. So just crushing it week in, week out. Faces of business, Manufacturing Monday motivation, manufacturing e-commerce success. Dude, you're everywhere, all over the place. God bless you, man. So, all right, hey, Damon, let's talk about this person over here.
Yep.
How about
I can't get it right. This is always bad.
All right, live on StreamYard, it's a little backwards, so you got to go over here. You know, like your hands over here, you're going over here. So, all right, let's talk about our wonderful, amazing, incredible, phenomenal guest that we have today, Damon. Damon, are you sitting down for this one?
I am.
We have Nicole Donnelly in the house today, man. Dude, we have Nicole Donnelly. Nicole, happy Friday. How are you?
Happy Friday. I am so excited to be here with you guys. We're going to have a great time. This is awesome. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, so we've got Dan Bigger in the house here. We've got John, our dear friend, John Baglino. Hey, John, I hope your son's doing better. We've got Ter. Am I saying that right? Ter? We have Matthew. Gary Wood says bromance, and Dan Bigger. All right, the quiz. Statler. And who's the other one?
Waldorf.
Thank you. We're Statler, Waldorf right here, right? Statler's over here, Waldorf's over there. So, all right, let's dig into our program. So, Nicole Donnelly, guys, first off, please connect with Nicole on LinkedIn. You thank Damon and I later just for this amazing connection here on LinkedIn. Nicole, you have a fascinating background, wonderful upbringing. We've become friends over the past few months, and you've shared some incredible stories with me. But before we go there into this wonderful childhood that you lived that all of us are jealous of, big question for you today is, when you were a little girl growing up in Southern California, who was your hero? Who was your hero growing up as a little girl? I might know the answer, but I'm dying to hear what you have to say.
When I was a little girl, my hero was my dad.
That's what I thought, man. Mic drop right there. So John Baglino, there's our first mic drop. So let's take a deep dive. I want to hear about Dad. You are a fourth generation entrepreneur. Let's hear about Dad.
Yes, amazing. So I was lucky enough to have an amazing dad who was an entrepreneur and grandfather on my mom's side, and my great grandfather, and they all built three separate businesses. So this wasn't like a family, thing where it was passed down. They all on their own completely built their own businesses. So it was really, really cool. My great grandfather, actually, when he was 25 years old, right before World War II broke out, maybe a couple years, he cashed out a life insurance policy at 25 years old and started an oil company. Go figure. And the timing was like perfect, because at that time there was a lot of oil rationing going on, right when the war started. So he totally was scrappy, took advantage of it, and he just started selling oil and transporting it to those areas where it was like really in demand. So he was just like super entrepreneurial, just amazing. And then my grandfather, he was pretty visionary. He ended up buying a motel across the street from Disneyland, literally must have been like the year after Disneyland opened, right back in 1955. Wow. So he was just like, he saw a good thing. He was like, man, he knew it was going to be just skyrocket. It totally did. So, my mom tells me stories, because when they first started working or when he first bought that motel, they didn't have much at all. So they actually lived in the back room of the hotel. Yeah. It was crazy. So, and my grandmother worked the front desk. So she was like the front desk clerk. And I have these like awesome videos and pictures of my mom, like swimming in the motel pool. And she just like talks about how she has such great memories, like just living at the motel with her brothers out in the back, swimming in the pool. So it was really cool. And then when I was older, my first job actually in high school was actually working at the front desk for the motel. And it was amazing. I loved it. It was super cool because, people come to Disneyland. They've been like planning for this for years, right? Yes. This is like their big trip that they're looking forward to. So
big deal.
it was just so fun to see like the excitement on their faces when they come and check in, for the first time. And the motel was literally right across, like you could walk to the gate it was half a block from the gate. And so I just loved being part of that magic. I think that was like maybe my first, it was my first experience, like really being part of like creating an experience that really delights customers, right? And trying to make them happy. And, and I just loved that. It was just super exciting, super fun. Yeah.
No doubt. And, we've stayed at those hotels that are right there at that. And it is an experience to be able to just walk back and forth to the park like that. So I do have one question. I mean, were you like a Disneyland every day, whenever you felt like it kind of thing? So, the ins and outs and everything of it?
That's funny. I did go to Disneyland, but I wasn't I didn't have a pass. I didn't go all the time.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting? So I would go. I'd probably go maybe once or twice a year.
Yeah.
But I wasn't one of those people that was going every week,
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's kind of like one of those things where you live in it. You don't really experience it as much. It's like here I live in DC. I don't go downtown, a ton. Maybe when family comes to visit, same kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, this is so, man, just digest that for a second, Damon. But just think, you're a little kid and you're growing up across the street.
I know.
From Disneyland. I mean, how many, and like you said, Nicole, I mean, think about how many people, back in the day, or any time, saved literally, that was a trip of a lifetime for how many folks that walked into your grandfather's establishment. So combination things to touch on. Look at the foresight. What an innovator, how scrappy for your grandfather to build that, have the motel right across the street from Disneyland. God bless them, right? That was absolutely phenomenal. And then, for you to be a part of that upbringing, and like, I love what you said, the delight of people, people are coming in just ecstatic of this opportunity. Think of how many businesses where you're dealing with people that are frustrated and challenged. And I'm sure in the motel business, there's plenty of that, but just the people walking through the door for the first time. Let's hear about Dad and Dad's business. Let's take a dive there.
Yes.
As a little girl growing up.
Yes. So he actually, funny story, he didn't graduate from college. He left college early to start working as a property manager for my grandpa, actually, the same grandpa that had the motel.
Yep.
So he worked as a property manager for him. And he was trying to make improvements at the property and it didn't go well. So he ended up getting fired by my grandfather, believe it or not. Isn't that crazy? He got fired by my grandpa.
It's funny.
Isn't that crazy?
How were holidays? That make holidays a little awkward?
They ended up, it all worked out,
Yeah.
It ended up for the best because then he went off and he ended up working for another gentleman in air pollution control and then started his own air pollution control company as a solopreneur, and his business just skyrocketed. So it was great. It was fun to grow up watching him because when he first started, it was just him, really, just small. And then, after I went away to college, it was cool to come back and just see how many people were working at the company and how much he just really just was so generous with them, really. And how much it was just really cool to see that whole process happen.
Now, you put out a really fascinating post on just this week, if I'm not mistaken, about how Dad scaled the business by hiring. Can you hit on that post? Talk a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll never forget, it must have been like five years ago or so. We were just having a conversation. My dad loved to have these big, long conversations. He was a talker. Sometimes he wouldn't stop talking. And I'll never forget one day he was talking to me. He said, Nicole, the best thing I ever did for my business was I learned to replicate myself. And looking back on it, when I look back on it, that truly was like such a catalyst for him and his business. The minute he learned to do that and not just replicate himself, but actually like replicate himself and teach those people how to become leaders, right? It's not just hiring someone. You actually have to take the time to develop them and make sure that you have all the processes in place to make it work, right? So he figured that out. And the minute he figured it out, it just changed his business completely took a whole different trajectory. So pretty cool.
Boy, true leadership is training and building, developing leaders. Damon, I know you see that consistently in your business. The folks that are unable to do that, not so, it doesn't go so well. And the folks that really master that, right?
Well, yeah. When you can, like you're talking about your dad, you can only do so much work. But if you can teach somebody else to do the same work, now you just doubled your output, or got close. You add the third, you add the fourth, and then you start to go, okay, how do we break the work down into different pieces? I mean, that's the way you scale an organization. And that, honestly, that's where a lot of people get stuck.
Right.
Is they're the owners and the founders are the limiting factor.
Right. Absolutely. So, hey, we've got Don from Alaska's in the house. We've got Val, and guys, thank you. Let us know where you're coming from. If you have any questions for Nicole, please drop that in the chat box and let us know that you're here. So, Nicole, what's Dad's name?
His name is Jim.
Jim. And what a great leader, what a great role model, what a great father. And Damon, we say this every week as girl dads, we just absolutely love hearing this story. And credit to Jim, he built a wonderful, incredible, fine young lady like yourself. So let's fight into your career. So you chose a path into industrial manufacturing marketing. Okay. So you bless the manufacturing industry with your skills, your talents. Let's talk about why manufacturing. Why did you go this route of industrial, heavy, and B2B? What attracted you to manufacturing?
What I love about manufacturing is that there's so many manufacturers that need help with marketing. So it was really exciting to actually go into a manufacturing company that had no marketing whatsoever. Okay. And literally build their marketing department from scratch. And that has been absolutely thrilling for me. I love being part of that process. I love seeing the transformation that happens when you can come in and actually change an organization and see it grow and scale and see that transformation. So that's what I really love about manufacturing. There's just so much opportunity, and there's just so much potential, frankly, when you actually can go in and put in place an inbound methodology and implement a CRM and marketing automation and have a really solid marketing strategy in place. So it's awesome. And plus, manufacturing is like, they're the unsung heroes of our economy, right? They make our economy run. And I just think it's so cool to be a part of that. I love it.
Hey, well, you know what? That's where all the cool kids hang out, is in manufacturing, as we like to say. And so you're one of the cool kids. Now, you just dropped a little bomb there. You talked about inbound marketing. Okay. Yeah. So now, several years ago, this whole inbound, outbound, this thing was, I didn't know that there was a difference. I just thought like, hey, we just market, right? We need a megaphone to let the world know that we exist. We need to stop being the best kept secret. Can you let's touch a little bit on what is inbound marketing for just anybody out there that doesn't really know the difference between that and outbound?
Yeah, absolutely. So inbound marketing is a lot like, okay, I don't know if any of you guys have ever been crabbing before, but it's super fun. I took my family down to South Carolina a couple years ago and we went crabbing, right? And so what you do is you literally take a chicken leg, you tie a string to it, and you throw it into the water and you wait for the crabs to come to you. So you have your bait. The chicken leg's your bait. And that's what inbound marketing is all about. It's all about giving your target audience really great content information that's going to help them, that's going to attract them to you, rather than going out and casting this big, huge net out in the ocean and hoping that you don't catch some rubber tires, right? So it's just a really scrappy, effective way to just get the right people, attract the right customers to you, and delight them. It's all about helping them, right? So that's what I love about inbound marketing. It's just super all about delighting, engaging, attracting the right customers and helping them along their journey, right? So,
hey, Nicole, you know what? By any chance, I wonder, like, are there any pictures out there in the World Wide Web of you and your family fishing, crabbing, or anything like that? I don't know, Damon, can you pull up? Is there another screen there that you could pull up?
Yeah, I think you need to get a different one coming, but there we go.
Hey, what?
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Nicole, by chance, can you is it like when you talk about outbound, like, is this something here that you're talking about?
That's right. Yeah. You're going out, you're casting that big net and you don't know if you're catching the right fish. Maybe you're catching some rubber tires in there that aren't really a good fit. It's expensive.
Well,
but here we are.
What's going on? Like, who are these lovely ladies here? What's going on in this picture?
That's me and my oldest daughter. And that was our first attempt at crabbing. And we had some awesome times. You can see the line there of the string with the little chicken leg. We're waiting for a crab to catch. And we did. We caught some good ones. We caught some big ones. It was super fun. Kids loved it. And then we had this amazing low country boil that was absolutely delicious.
All right. So let me just recap. Let me get this straight, Damon. Just correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm an older dude. So let me make sure I got this straight. So outbound, what you're saying is like you're casting a wide net. So maybe like a billboard or radio ad, and you're just kind of hoping to captivate somebody. With inbound, what you're saying, it's much more targeted, more specific, like this wonderful crabbing adventure. And so the success is, now, is this your family here by any chance?
It is, man. Look at all those awesome people.
Nice.
There's Josh.
Nice.
That's your brother. Look at this. Oh, Damon, are you hungry or what?
No doubt. I need to go down to there's a place here in Seattle that serves it just like that. I got to go.
Oh, it's amazing. And my daughter right there in the front, the one that's smiling bigger than everyone, I think she had like 10 crabs. She was like in heaven. She just like ate. Everyone else was terrified. She went right for it. It's great.
So Nicole, so we're talking a little bit about inbound. So Damon, I didn't even know we weren't even going to go here, turn this into like a little webinar, if you will. But Nicole and I had the honor, privilege, pleasure of being at Temple University this week. And so we did a little workshop together. So Nicole, if you didn't mind, I thought I'd just fire this up since you're talking about crabbing. So let's talk about, you have a little case study. Since we're here, if you don't mind, I think everybody's going to get a lot of value on this. We'll keep it super brief. Just talk a little bit about your experience with this company. So this is an industrial B2B company and really had no marketing. What went on here?
Yeah. So basically went in, they had no CRM, nothing. We literally were starting from scratch. This was their old website, stock photography. There wasn't really a very clear call to action. We didn't know who their target customer was. It was just, kind of a mess, to be honest. And so what we did is we came in and we built out a completely new website for them. We first started to understand their customer. You got to know your customer really well. So we did some market research. We talked to customers. We sent out surveys to truly try to understand as much as we could about them. And then we created this website all around what their problem was, what they needed. So our copy was all focused on addressing their biggest problem, which is they don't want to deal with their dust collection systems. And then we implemented live chat. We started blogging. We have some very clear calls to action here so that they know exactly very easily how we can help them.
Man, I love this. So let's just kind of recap, guys. So again, if you're looking, I'm Damon. I know both you and I were always scrutinizing, looking at our websites, like how can we be better, right? Everybody that comes to our little Friday program, super competitive. How can we be the best at what we do? How can we deliver the most value? So you look at here. So, they had these categories here, but it was like learn more, kind of underwhelming. No disrespect to, the previous website here, but look what Nicole did, arrow, get help, request info, shop now. So very clear and concise. Now, Nicole, I think I heard you say the word blogging. Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, you did. Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious. Now this is a big industrial company selling like $250,000 equipment. Damon, we hear all the time manufacturers like, hey, we don't have anything to blog about. Does blogging really work? Well, I don't know, Nicole. Does blogging work?
It works if you do it right. And it works if you're targeting the right customers, and it can definitely be successful. So for sure. So this is what we started blogging. Once we had identified who their target customer was, and we understood all of what we did is we talked to the sales team and took the data that we had gathered and the keyword research that we had done. And we put together a list of topics based on what are the top questions that they had that we could answer and help them with. And we created a content calendar for the year, and we decided to blog twice a month consistently. And so this is what happened to our traffic over several years once we started blogging consistently twice a month. So absolutely blogging can work. The key is that you have to be consistent about it and very, very intentional, and make sure that you're really speaking to the specific pain points and challenges that your customers are having. And then when you're patient and consistent, you'll start to see those results. So yeah, this can be a very, very powerful and successful way in inbound marketing strategy to help attract the right customers. Yeah.
Gosh, for a manufacturer out there that's doing no content marketing, or maybe they're a little resistant or skeptical, or like, hey, does this really work? Now, I heard you say twice a month. I'm looking on the screen. It says 2 times a month. I mean, that doesn't sound like a super heavy, painful lift, but look at these results.
Yeah.
Right? My goodness gracious, going from 2,600 to nearly 9,000 visitors. Now, okay, that's great that we get these impressions and we start driving traffic. Nicole, does this convert into dollars?
Yes, absolutely. So another inbound strategy that can work really well is pay-per-click. And so in this case, what we did is we again went back to the big challenges that this customer was having. And one of the biggest questions that they had was all around price. They wanted to know how much a dust collection system cost, for example. That was one of their biggest questions. And so what we did is we said, we're going to make it easy for them. Let's offer them through these ads a way for them to price out their system, and we'll send them a sample drawing so they could see exactly what the system would look like. So that was our offer to them. So we offered them something that was really valuable. And because of that, we just saw like, man, our results just skyrocketed. And it's all because we had listened to what our customers needed and wanted, and we created that experience for them early on in the buying process.
Well, Curt, you've talked about something called a configurator before, haven't you?
Oh, maybe just, Damon, just once or twice. And so, you know what? And we're going to start having some guests on the program around configurators, just to give you a little heads up. And I think we're actually going to start doing webinars on configurators. So yes, I love the configurator.
This is one of the keys, I think, and it's great that they did it there at US Air Filtration. If you can give people, even if it's just a base price, I think it gets you so much farther along. And because at the initial process, if you can say, hey, it's going to be $20,000 or $100,000 or whatever, then people are, because you think about the buying process in this kind of equipment. I bought this kind of equipment before. I had it in, I don't know how many factories that I ran. And you just, in the beginning, you want to know, well, about how much does it cost? And then you go, yeah, we got to build it out. Yeah, we got all this other stuff we're going to have to add to it. But if I know if it's $50,000 or $100,000 at the beginning, that might be all I need at that point. But what did you do? I got your name, the company's name. I've got the drawing. I'm ready to go with what I need to do. And when it comes time to buy and I'm the engineer specifying, I'm going to say, buy it from that company because that's where I got that. It's cool.
I absolutely love this. And you look at, so Nicole, did I mention I'm not a young guy anymore? Is it that number? My eyes aren't so good. Am I reading that correctly? 6,000?
Oh, 6,000. Yeah.
6,000%. Now, okay. So 6,000. So we're looking at this graph here. This looks really impressive. Good for you, Nicole, right? You look at this 6,000%, but now did this convert into dollars?
It did, Curt. Yes. It did. Yeah. So what we did is we had all these people that had come in through Google Ads. They had opted in, they'd raised their hand and said, man, I want to get more information from you guys. This is great. I love the content you're sending. They've raised their hand. They've taken the bait. And so we started sending them emails. And so here, what I want to talk about here is that with inbound marketing, you're not just focusing in on the early lead gen part of the customer journey. It's really all about nurturing and engaging that lead, prospect, and customer through their entire journey with you, even after they become a customer.
Even after.
So what's great about email marketing is that you can segment out your customer database based on, what they've purchased, their job title, buying behavior. Like, for example, one of the really great workflows that we like to implement when we're onboarding a new customer that's a really low-hanging fruit is to do a re-engagement campaign where you're reaching out to those customers that haven't purchased from you in a while and just saying, hey, what's going on? We wanted to reconnect with you. It's a great way for you to purge your contact database, right? And get rid of those customers' contacts that aren't a good fit anymore. And a great way for you to re-engage with customers. So, with email marketing, it's just a really great way for you to just stay in front of and stay engaged with your customers through their entire life cycle with you. And it really does, really help tremendously in terms of increasing your profitability and delighting your customers.
Good stuff.
And look at this number, 413,000. And again, that's profit. That's bottom line for a company that had no marketing strategy or initiative whatsoever. So Nicole, we'll close out on this. What is KYS? Do you know what, Damon, do you remember this one? Key to marketing success is KYS. Anybody out there, if you guys want to drop that in the chat box, does anybody know what KYS stand for?
Nope.
Know your soulmate. Know your soulmate inside and out. You want to know that ideal customer. So I'm going to come back. I'll stop sharing. I'll come back to you guys. So Nicole, let's just do a recap here. So know your customer, know your customer. We always, in our little shtick in our webinars, we call those ideal customers our soulmates. So what you guys did is when you took a deep dive and intimately understood their, we always hear that cliche, hey, what's the pain point? What's the pain point? What you did is you understood their challenges.
Yeah.
And what you love to talk about are 2 words with marketing. Can you share, man, Damon, John Buglino, are you ready for a right here?
Here we go.
What are your favorite 2 words?
Yes, my favorite 2 words, the foundation of all great sales, marketing, business, being a great human, is just to be curious and to have empathy. So all great marketing starts with that. So yeah, you just want to really try to understand your customers and ask questions and talk to them. A lot of times I think business owners make a lot of assumptions about their customers and they think they know. And then when you actually take the time to ask them, it's surprising what you find out. So so being curious and then just having empathy. The more that you have empathy for their challenges, the easier it's going to be for you as a business to create the solutions and new to the problems they're having. So
I didn't have to say it, Damon. I didn't have to say it. Thanks to our dear friend John Buglino. Hey, can we back up a minute? Hey, I thought, Curt, dude, you know what? Man, it was like, I think it was our anniversary when we went to lunch, dude. I miss you. You got to come back up to New York. Hey, go back for a minute. We need to do a shout out to John's son. Did you see that post? So John's injury. And so, hey, he's back firing off those fastballs. We have a game.
Nice.
He's practicing up. He was up at 6:30 this morning, having a catch, dad life. So, hey, God bless you, John. You are.
Dan's came off the IR as well,
That's right. So I know Dan's been having. We love that you post about your children on.
Yeah.
And thank you for sharing your families with us, man. It means so much to us. So, all right, Nicole. I know you're a busy woman. We need to wrap up here soon. So you've covered a ton. So on inbound marketing, know that ideal client, understand in that empathy and curiosity, understand their journey, and you're going to see powerful results that you just shine the light on here. For you, we got to see Josh, Charlotte, Sophia. We got to see the whole family out crabbing and enjoying dinner. And now you also shared with us your dad, your grandfather, and your great-grandfather, wonderful entrepreneurs. So as we close out, here's my last question for you today. Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
I'm ready. Bring it on. I'm ready for it.
All right, we talked about your dad, Jim, being your inspiration as a child growing up, right? Your hero. Today, who's your inspiration today? You are such a incredible, wonderful success. You've been such a blessing to me. I know John, Dan, Damon, all of us have built a wonderful relationship with you. Who is your inspiration today?
My husband, Josh.
Let's hear about Josh.
He's awesome. Man, he is just super dad. He is super great listener. He challenges me to think differently about things and problems. And he's just so generous and always giving. So he shows me what it is to be service oriented. I just love him. So yeah, I would say definitely Josh.
Hey, you know what? And we give kudos to Josh having great taste and just a wonderful, dynamic human being. Nicole, you have become such a blessing to me. I've had the honor of working with you on multiple different client projects together. So I want to thank you. I appreciate you. I applaud you. I implore you. You're wonderful. So thank you for sharing your brilliance, your wisdom, your expertise with us today. So, all right, guys, we're going to wind down. Nicole is a busy gal. She's superwoman, man. She's got other people to tackle and other things to do. So, Nicole, thank you. Appreciate you taking time with us. Guys, we want to share, Damon, we have a huge week next week.
Yes, we do.
We have a monster week next week. Do you want to share what's happening next Thursday at noon?
Well, Curt, I will let you do it, but I'm a little bit surprised. But we are, if I'm not mistaken, we're gonna be talking with the founder of Reebok next week.
Of what?
Cool.
Reebok.
Of Reebok, the shoe company. Yeah.
So guys, so little special edition because Joe is in England, so we needed to adjust our schedule. Next Thursday at 12 Eastern, 9 o'clock Pacific, we're going to be interviewing Joe Foster, the founder of Reebok. He and his brother founded Reebok in 1958.
So cool.
Took him decades. He turned it into $1 billion company. So
yeah,
join us for that, man. I'm just beyond that's oh my God, that's gonna be so good. So guys, let's close out on this. Thank you for joining us, Gary, John, Whitney. I need to get on a call with you sometime. We keep crossing paths. Dan Bigger, everybody out here today. Thank you guys for joining us today. Deeply, Don, thank you.
Thanks.
Keep spreading your awesomeness. Val, have an incredible, wonderful weekend. Damon, that handsome devil over there, why don't you take it away, dude?
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us here today. And remember, next week we got a special day and time, Thursday, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. We are going to be interviewing Joe Foster. Is that right? Because I was looking at his website. It's absolutely amazing. He founded Reebok next week on Thursday, and his grandfather actually was making shoes for Olympians before that. This is like a family history in this thing. It is incredible.
Yeah,
it is incredible.
So just to touch on that real quick. So the movie, The Chariots of Fire, the two runners in the movie Chariots of Fire, Joe Foster's grandfather manufactured the shoes for those runners in the movie Chariots of Fire. Yeah. So Nicole, you talked about how your grandfather fired Jim.
Yeah.
Little spoiler alert. Joe Foster. So I'll take 1 minute. Joe Foster's grandfather founded the shoe company. Joe Foster's grandfather had 2 sons. They took over the company after the grandfather passed. They couldn't get along. They constantly fought. So when Joe Foster and his brother came along, they got sick and tired of dad and the uncle fighting constantly. So they left and started competing with their own father and started.
Wow.
Is that
it's incredible?
Or what? So so Nicole, you completely relate with what your dad.
Oh, for sure. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. But thanks.
Thanks
Thanks so much, everyone, for being here. Nicole's got to go. We got to get off here. Hey, it's awesome. We appreciate everyone being here today. Curt and I just love being able to rock the bromance shirts once in a while. Hey, it's summertime. Get out there. You're enjoying the baseball. Have a good time with your family this weekend, everyone. We'll be back on Thursday.
Peace out.
Bye, guys. Thank you.